Top 10 Most Haunted Places in the World. Enter if you dare, but beware, because what you're about to witness is not just legend, but chilling stories whispered through centuries. Places where time has stopped, and the dead refuse to leave. Stay brave, for this journey, from cursed forests and haunted prisons, to castles soaked in blood and betrayal, these are not ordinary locations. They are gateways where the line between the living and the dead becomes dangerously thin. Tonight, we count down the 10 most terrifying, most haunted places in the world. And remember, the deeper we go, the darker it gets. Number 1 will leave you sleepless. At number 10, the Tower of London, England. A fortress nearly 1,000 years old. Its stones are stained with blood. Its walls echo with secrets. This was a place of power, but also of betrayal, torture, and execution. The most famous ghost? Anne Boleyn, the beheaded Queen of England. They say she still roams the corridors, clutching her severed head in her hands. Guards and visitors speak of icy winds, footsteps that follow them, and figures that vanish into thin air. The tower has always been a prison, but perhaps it still traps the souls of those who suffered here.
At number 9, the Banff Springs Hotel in Canada. A stunning castle among the snowy Rocky Mountains, but beneath its beauty lies a darker truth. Guests speak of a bride who tripped and fell to her death on the staircase, her gown catching fire from a candle as she fell. Her ghostly figure is seen dancing alone, her veil covering a burned face. And then, the phantom bellboy, knocking on doors at midnight, only to vanish when guests answer. Cold winds sweep through warm rooms, footsteps echo in empty corridors. It is a luxury hotel by day, but by night, it becomes a castle of shadows. At number 8, Monte Cristo Homestead, Australia's most haunted house. Built in 1884, this mansion hides unspeakable tragedies. A young stable boy burned alive in the stables, a maid pushed from the balcony to her death, a child murdered in horrifying circumstances. The family who once lived here left behind not love, but pain. Visitors today report icy hands touching them, their names whispered by unseen lips, and doors creaking open as if invited inside. Shadows pass along the walls, yet no one is there. Monte Cristo is more than a home. It is a tomb for restless spirits.
At number 7, Château de Brissac, France. Here lives the ghost of the Green Lady. Centuries ago, she was murdered, her face left scarred and hollow. Now she wanders the castle in a flowing green dress, her cries echoing in the stairways. Guests who see her say their blood runs cold as her hollow eyes stare deep into theirs. She fades into mist when approached, but the sound of her moaning never leaves. Even nobles once feared the castle at night, knowing that the Green Lady would never let them rest. At number 6, Bhangarh Fort in Rajasthan, India. A cursed land, feared by locals for centuries. According to legend, a sorcerer fell in love with a princess. When she rejected him, he cursed the entire fort before his death. Soon after, the fort was abandoned. Its people vanished without a trace. Today, its ruins remain silent, but not empty. Travelers report shadows that follow them, voices of women crying in the night, and an invisible weight pressing down on them. So feared is this place that the Indian government warns no one should remain here after sunset, perhaps because they know what walks here. At number 5, the Stanley Hotel, Colorado, USA. Famous for inspiring Stephen King's The Shining. By day, it looks like a grand old mountain resort, but by night, the walls whisper, Desks hear children laughing and running down empty halls. Pianos play when no one is near. And in room 217, the spirit of a former housekeeper is said to linger. Some who stayed here never truly left. Would you dare to sleep here, knowing the shadows might not be your own? At number 4, Poveglia Island, Italy. An island so cursed it has been abandoned for centuries. During the plague, the sick and dying were sent here, thrown into mass graves, their cries silenced by fire. Later, a mental asylum was built here, where unspeakable experiments took place. The screams of patients still echo through the ruins. Local fishermen refuse to sail near the island, for they say shadows rise from the waters to pull them under. Poveglia is not just haunted, it is poisoned with death itself. At number 3, Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, USA. Once the most feared prison in the world, prisoners lived in silence, driven to madness by isolation. Now its cell blocks stand in ruins, dark, cold, and lifeless. Or so it seems. Visitors hear footsteps following them, keys jangling in empty corridors, and see figures darting across the crumbling halls. Some even swear the spirits of inmates reach out from the cells, desperate to escape their eternal sentence. Here, the punishment never ends. At number 2, the Queen Mary ship, USA. Once a luxury ocean liner, now called the most haunted ship in the world. In the engine room, sailors were crushed to death between watertight doors. Passengers drowned in the pool that still stands empty, but echoes with splashing water and ghostly laughter. Visitors report screams in the night and shadowy sailors walking the decks where no living crew remains. The Queen Mary no longer sails the seas, but it carries thousands of restless souls on board. Step aboard, if you dare. At number 1, Aokigahara Forest, Japan. The Suicide Forest, a place where compass cesses and paths vanish in silence. Personal belongings are tied to trees left behind by those who never returned. Locals whisper, the forest calls to the broken, and once inside, it keeps them. Travelers see pale figures standing between the trees, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. The silence grows heavier with each step, until the forest itself seems to grieve around you. It is not just haunted, it is alive and waiting. We've reached the end of our haunted journey, but tell me, which of these places would you dare to enter? The cursed fort, the haunted ship, or the forest that never lets you leave? Comment below if you're brave enough. And remember, subscribe now, because the next story might be darker, closer, and waiting for you.